Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Rock is a Lady's Modesty episode number 3 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we get to see Lilisa trying to deny obviously her passion, which was playing like the guitar. So she was denying it throughout the whole episode. In the middle she did find the guitar pick that was dropped by Kurogane, and she wanted to return it to her because she said that it was very important to her, and went to give it to her. And from that point onwards, Kurogane was like, "Oh, will we do another session? Will we do another session?" While she's constantly trying to stay away from her because she doesn't want her bringing back her passion. Because in her head, she's like, "I have to be the noble maiden, so I cannot do any of these." Uh, at the end, when she has a proper conversation with Kurogane, she said that, oh, why should I stop myself from pursuing my fashion? That is something that is for me, and I will not, you know, do anything that will hamper my time, which I have kept for myself, which is, where I do something that I love. In the end, they go and, Lilisa was like, all right, this one last time I'll play, and I'm getting off of this. And both of them had another session, and it kind of ended there. So I'm guessing we'll probably continue from there, where they're still playing the instruments. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yep. Yep. It's like I cannot accept this. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Well, yeah. Oh boy. Youth. He probably knows. Okay. Right. Control. Oh, she's keeping up. Oh, she's leading it. Yep. Yeah, she's overpowered her. Yeah. Crazy depictions of. Oh boy. Right. That's why she's like, yeah, I'll have to win before I end this. Damn. Damn. Yeah, her whole youth. Damn. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Wow. Mm. Yeah, she's like, I want to. Oh, yeah, she's overpowered. She's overpowering her again. What? Hey! Oh, this show has a very fancy dialogue. Must be because they're Ojo-samas. They have a way of speaking, a very elegant way. Right. Oh! Yo! She's smiling. Wow, I love the way they use the colors to depict these type of sections. Wow. Okay, I think they're like actually like each of their, no one's overpowering the other here in this situation. They're like evenly matched because you can say both the drums and the guitars are going off at a pretty equal. Good God! Hey, damn! That was how loud they were. Oh boy. Wow. What the hell? Hey! Oh my God, bruh. Yo, I feel like this is probably the craziest subs I've ever heard in any anime. Good God. And I'm wow. Ooh. Okay. Hello. What? Oh, she's stretching. Right. Yeah. What? Oh, good God. Punishment? What? Way home? Ah. Well, it's done. Well, um, bruh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll do some more on. Right. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Fantastic. Oh God. Okay, calm down. Your persona's kind of peeling off a little bit. You, you, you're not strumming guitar, mind you. Exceptional reflexes. Yeah, the way you're speaking also reverted back, so. Bruh. Yeah, that's what you're focusing on? Oh, okay. The Wait, what? What? Why is What's happening to her? Why is she going full out? Hello, bro. Like marvelous, elegant. Wow. Oh God. What is she painting? Oh, hey. What? Right. Well, everyone likes it, so you know. Hmm. The way she's sitting. Hmm. Yeah, they're banned. We are not hearing her drumming. Oh yeah, true. Like, okay. Oh, does her father know she plays the drum? I do wonder. Wow. Well, you are currently. Thank you for asking. I had the same question. Don't mind. Okay. She didn't really answer the question in a clear manner, so, but okay. Yeah, thank God, obviously. Because the noise that they make. Rule. Yeah, that is true. Ah, mission direction. Ah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, obviously. Oh, well, we do need. Yeah. Not necessary, but you know. Yeah, but I guess there's only instrumental only bands as well, I guess. Damn. Don't say that to her. Yeah. Oh my God. Instrumental band. Singing gets in the way. Well, you're not really going professional or anything, so you know. Yeah. Yeah. Again, wording, hello? Fuji Rock. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I guess at that point, if they're able to go that far, then they'll think of something. Possible way of staying anonymous. Hmm. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Damn. Everything. Well, she has her reasons. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but in the heat of the moment, I don't know if it's gonna be that easy. These two continuously just. I feel like. Nah, man. In no way. They're doing this quickly. They're gonna be hurling insults in no time. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Just wilted. Okay. Well, that was a good episode. Okay, and that is it. Oh, wait. No, there's something left. Oh, it's a sister. The Suzunomiya is your sister, Lisa. Bruh. Yeah, well, she knows. Well, yeah, right. Well, we kind of expected this to be her reaction. Okay, and there you go. That was episode number 3 of this show. Now, today we had an agreement. We had an agreement between Lilisa and Otoha about making a band. And obviously, making a band doesn't mean Lilisa is just going to throw away her Ojo sama and her goal of becoming a noble maiden. She's like, we will make a band. We will obviously like do proper band like stuff, live and other stuff. Obviously the question of the anonymity does come up when you're going to be doing lives. I guess you can do stuff like, I don't know, maybe like put on masks or something and then play, like maybe to keep your identity hidden. I think you can do a few things, but obviously when like their main goal, that is as Lilisa said, our main goal, true goal, should be going to Fuji Rock. When that time comes, I don't think they can do that. So obviously the identity will be going out. But at that point of time, that's like the end game completely. I feel like everything will be fine. They'll probably think of something. But before that, she wants to become the noble maiden. She wants to play a band. She wants to sing songs and do normal band activities, and all these things she wants to do. So yeah, that is basically her, true goal now. So that was the agreement they came up with, and yeah, things are looking okay. Things are looking good. Now, a few things happened in today's episode. First and foremost, we had both um, Lilisa and Otoha go off, like do another session, and at the end of it, they decide to make a band, and then we had Lilisa trying to propose that we shouldn't swear or say bad words or cuss during these sessions, because obviously I don't want to make that a habit, because as we saw what was happening, because of the whole session, her adrenaline was still kind of going off even when she was in Ozo Samamur. So she was kind of going off of that influence and doing some stuff that she was thinking that is not okay. But obviously the other students were pretty okay with that, and you could probably say they were even more happier with Lilisa kind of going a little bit crazy. But she's like, no, I cannot do this. I'll have to be careful. So she's like, we shouldn't swear, because if we swear and cuss out each other, yeah, that'll become a habit, and I don't, I don't want any accidents happening in front of the other students. Like my whole future is just going to go down immediately. Just imagine a noble maiden just, or a candidate for a noble maiden, just cussing out loud in the middle of the hallway. Nah, man. So she's like, we shouldn't do that. But I was like, it's easier to say that. In no way will you be able to control yourself in the heat of the moment. And there you go. And that's exactly what happens. Like at first they were like, okay, we will do this in Ojo Sama style, all elegant and everything. And 1 hour later, they're just cussing each other out. So yeah, I think they might be able to little by little control it, but in no way they're doing this in one day. It'll take a while, but if they genuinely don't want to, want to refrain, like cussing each other out or saying, like stuff like that, swearing like that, I think it is possible, but it'll take a while. Like they need to just control themselves. Little by little, it'll become a habit. So yeah. Either way, that was basically today's episode. So they made a band and now they are ready to do normal band activities. And I'm guessing little by little we'll meet all the other characters as well. The other characters in the band who are supposed to join the band. 2 more characters, the bassist and the pianist. Also, this will be a no vocal band, like a full-on instrumental band. Like I would say I don't have much experience watching or listening to music from full instrumental bands. I barely know any bands like that. Most of the bands, obviously, like like most of the bands that I am familiar with are do have a vocalist. So I would say this is probably my first time kind of seeing a proper, like like a full on instrumental band in that way. But yeah, obviously, like they do exist, but it's just like most bands have like a vocalist. um so right, I guess, oh, I was going to say Keon, but then I remembered, like, both Mio and Yui used to sing. I forgot about that completely. But yeah, like, no, I don't think I in anime there has been any full instrumental band, has there? I don't think so. Let me know if there's any band like this, which is in anime I'm talking about. Like, obviously in actual real world there's a lot of examples. You can just Google it and you'll probably find a lot of the examples. But I'm talking about like anime musical music bands. I don't think there has been any fully music, or if there has been, I have no idea. I don't know about it. The ones that I can just think on the top of my head are all of them has like more vocalists, like so yeah, anyways, but yeah, this is going to be a full on instrumental. Like the instruments will be the one that will be like like overpowering each other, because I guess it makes sense, because obviously these girls are more about like like their particular instruments, and like bringing in a vocal will probably shift the whole like attention to the vocal, you know and yeah, but when it's music instruments, as you were seeing here in today's episode, it was pretty apparent, like there were sections when one music instrument was overpowering the other, and that's how they were trying to like like kind of like kind of show their dominance. So Lilisa, there was a section where Lilisa was going out completely, like the guitar was going completely crazy, and at that time you can see the guitar is more prominent than the drumming. And then immediately after that, you can see that Otoha goes out, and then the drumming, you can see it becomes more prominent than the guitar. Like, when you're listening to it, the first thing you'll hear is the drum, and then you'll hear the guitar. That is what it means by overpowering. Your attention is going to that. Both of them were trying to topple each other and reach like the top position and be the one that is dominating the other, and that one was going on for quite a while, and by the end of it you can see it was pretty evenly matched, because both the drum and the guitar were quite prominent, and that was like their whole, like like the whole um, collaboration, the whole session that they did. It was just each of them trying to like dominate over the other by their musical instruments. And when the bassist and the pianist will join, I'm assuming the same will happen with them as well. They'll also probably try that, and it'll be like a just a like like a, I don't know, like a whole set of musical instruments just going off against each other, and yeah, that should be interesting. And obviously, it's rock. This stuff like this, it is appropriate for a genre of music like rock, like like overpowering, brash, like trying to dominate the other one, like the other instrument. Yeah, like it's pretty fitting because this is rock music. So yeah, there you go. Now, yeah, I think that was today's episode. So a few things to take from this episode. First and foremost, like Lisa thought, maybe the other girls and even the teacher in today's episode, as you can see, wouldn't really be that opposed to her showing more of her hot, like hot blooded side, because you can see there were sections where she generally forgot to keep up her Ojo-sama personality, and she actually thought that, oh no, like I slipped up. What's people going to say? But everyone were like, oh my god, this is so cool. This is so amazing. Like like that was so that was so amazing. It when she was doing the badminton, everyone was like just like just doing like little like kind of just using the racket a little bit, and the the shuttlecock was just going a little bit, and everyone was having fun with that. And then we have Lilisa jumping and like doing like this just smashing the shuttlecock. And like, they have never seen anything like that. So they're like, oh my god, this is so amazing, you could do that, wow, let us try to do that ourselves. And so they were pretty okay with it, and nobody was really judging her or anything. They were just fascinated. So, and not only that, later on as well, you could see when she was like reciting from her book, because doing the English pronunciation, like, like thing, she was like getting too much into it, and she was like just, I don't know, like just too immersed into the whole like thing. So and then she realized, and she's like, oh no, what the hell am I doing? Why am I acting like this? I'm supposed to be elegant. I'm just going crazy. But everyone was like, oh my god, that has so much passion into it, so much emotion into it. Such great pronunciation. Absolutely fantastic. Even the teacher was like, yeah, that was really good. So, like these type of things, people aren't really, the girls aren't really that opposed to it. They're pretty okay with that. So, yeah, so maybe, like, obviously, I'm pretty sure, like, if she starts cussing out people in the middle of the hallway, then people will definitely be like, okay, that's a bit too far. But I obviously she's not going to do that. But these type of small little things, I think it's fine. As you can see, you know, like everyone's pretty okay with it. Um, and more, like more so that they like this. They like this whole section, this whole version of her, you could say. So yeah, and I do wonder if like, more and more, as more and more episodes go, she'll, like, kind of revert back to her original personality. Now here's the thing, I think this is what's going to happen. Like how Lilisa said in today's episode, that obviously we're making a band, but at the same time, I'm not going to give up my whole Ojo Sama thing. So I think for her personality as well, is going to become more like that. So I doubt she's just going to go crazy with everything and just completely revert back to her original true self. She'll probably still try to be elegant and proper, follow etiquette and manners of an Ojo-sama. She's probably still going to try that, but I think more and more time passes, more and more episodes we watch, she will show the little bits and pieces of her original personality with the Ojo-sama thing as well. It's going to be a mixture, you know. It's going to be more of a mixture. Like both of the parts of her will be there. She'll probably still act in a very elegant way, but she is not going to shy away in sections where she should have up until now, because she was trying to act an Ojo-sama. In sections where it's necessary, she's probably going to show her true personality, but obviously she's not just going to go full on like that. She's also going to show like Ojo-sama, like, like mannerisms as well. I think that's how it's going to happen, little by little, because I feel like that's the main, the main theme, or the main direction this is going. Balance, like balance, and striking the right amount of, like, like keeping the right amount of, like, balance with, like, both parts of her personality, or like, that kind of, not really personality, but both sides of her, like the rock star version of her and the Ojo-sama version of her, keeping the correct balance, balancing them both properly, not giving up one for the other, and making like good harmony between these two. So yeah, that is like that. I can understand that's probably going to be like the main direction this show is going to go. So yeah, that was it. That was today's episode. Was there anything else to talk about today? Um, no. Oh, another thing we got to know, obviously, I forgot to mention. I should have talked about it. This, which is when Otoha said that, why do you want to become the noble maiden? Because obviously it's a good question. She's like, you said this before as well. Why? Like, why are you trying that hard, even if it means you have to like give up your passion and everything? So she obviously, like, it was pretty obvious. She said, I want to um, make sure my mother is established, gets like her own place in our family. And to do that, I have to become accomplished, which is true. Like obviously, if she is just a normal girl, like she doesn't accomplish much, like a lot of people will say a lot of things like, oh, commoner's child, you know like stuff like this. What how this type of things goes, like, yeah, and that'll automatically make people point their fingers at her mother. Obviously they'll point their fingers at her as well. She doesn't care about that. I doubt she cares about that, but she cares about her mother. She probably won't be able to tolerate people pointing fingers at her mother. you know she can tolerate people pointing fingers at her, but not her mother. So she wants to make sure that she herself become so much accomplished that, like, her mother is able to get a position of her own. Like, people won't be able to say anything to her. Everyone will sing praises of her, which is automatically going to go to her mother as well, and people will sing praises of her mother. She'll be able to make a place for herself, even as a commoner in that rich household. That's why. That is her main reason. And when she said that, Otoha, you can see Otoha smiled, and I guess you could say that she realized that she's not really doing these things to show them, like, I can do something, this and that, or she's not doing this for herself. She's doing this for her mother. And I don't know, I feel like that probably made Otoha appreciate that, that being the reason for her trying to become a noble maiden. you know so yeah. And that's why in the end she was like, okay, I will try my best not to swear or cuss out in the middle of our practice sessions. But that went down the drain pretty quickly. But yeah, another thing, I had a question in today's episode which was asked by Lisa to Otoha immediately, which was, does Otoha's parents know that she's doing? Because Otoha said that this place is like abandoned, and my father is supposed to be in charge of this place, and he's going to donate or something, like, for like the renovation or whatever, when it's going to happen. But up until then, my father is in charge of this, and my father told me to do whatever I want with this place. So that is why I'm doing whatever I want to. Now, automatically my question was, okay, so her father is the one who gave her the permission to do whatever. So does she know what she's doing here? Because obviously, like, he must have a question. She must say that, oh, what are you doing with that place? I'm assuming, like, I don't know, like, she did say that, yeah, they know about it, but at the same time she also said that we need to keep this anonymous. So I'm not 100% sure, like, what, like, exactly. So I'm guessing her parents know, like, if, as she said, everything she said was the truth, if she's not trying to hide something, if she, like, if as she said, her parents genuinely knows that she's doing these type of things, then I think she's just trying to keep this a secret from everyone else. Her parents probably knows, because that's what she said. You know what, let me just go to that part. I'm going to just read this section once more. Okay, you mentioned before about not wanting to make it public. Here you go. And she says, oh, it's fine, my parents don't mind at all. You could say I prefer to keep it private. Yeah, so my parents don't mind at all. Again, her answer doesn't really answer the question properly. Like, Lilisa said, do your parents know? And she said, like, my parents don't mind at all. Like, so they're okay with it? Like, she didn't answer that question. She didn't answer that question. She said, like, my parents don't mind at all. Like, I guess, yeah, if you think about it, don't mind at all does mean that they're okay with it. But I feel like there's still something, like, yeah, like that she's not telling us. But you know what? Let's wait and see. Maybe I'm looking into this a little bit too much, but there's a possibility that maybe her parents are like, don't like this, but they are not really that much bothered by it. Like, maybe they themselves don't properly, like, share the same sentiments, but they don't mind her continuing it. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. You know. Yeah. You know what? Let's wait and see. Yeah, because there must be something. Or it could just be that, in the end, like it could just be like, oh, she's actually like, like her parents generally don't mind. That could also be possible. But the fact that, if her parents are like true, like, that, like that type of, like, high level people, just who are just thinking about business, and like all these things, like, like, I don't know, I feel like they will have a little bit of a difficulty like accepting their daughter just drumming and just cussing out in the middle of that. Yeah, they'll probably, but I don't know, you know what, maybe they're just very open-minded. That could be true as well, like why do we automatically assume that all these ojo sama, like like these rich people are just all very close-minded? That there might be an exception. Maybe the exception is her family. Maybe they're completely fine with it. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, she said like like her parents are fine with it, so we'll just go with that. Right. Okay. And yeah, there you go. That was today's episode. I think I covered most of the things today. Nothing else to talk about. Right. And there you go. That was it. Now, let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we like carrying on from the section where we left off. Basically, them, like Lilisa saying that this is the final time I will strum the guitar. I will show her that I'm not running away from this. I'll defeat her at her own game, and then I'm going to stop playing guitar. Because obviously, if I stop playing guitar now, it will seem as if I'm running away from her. I'm scared from her. I'm not, So I'm going to overpower her drumming, and I'm going to just stop. That was the plan, initial. Obviously, that was the initial plan. So they start their session, and in this whole section, you can see each of them keeps going back and forth, back and forth. Someone is overpowering the other one. Like back to back. This is happening. At first, it was Lilisa who was overpowering Otoha's drumming, and this whole section they were like. I love the depictions of them showing how they're overpowering each other. Previous episode it was Otoha with that whip, if you remember like the rose thorn whip, kind of grabbing Lilisa by the throat. Today it is Lilisa with a chain grabbing Otoha by the throat and just putting her leg on her back and grabbing her like like I'm like okay. So yeah. Now, yeah, then they go off on like like back and forth, back and forth. They kind of do this. No, here she kind of mentions not only was obviously guitar something she gave up. She gave up everything, everything. She gave up going out with friends. She gave up eating like snacks and stuff. She gave up manga, anime, video games, playing with friends. Everything she gave up. She basically gave up her youth for becoming an ojo-sama. And you can see they kind of show her like practicing, like just how to eat, table manners and stuff, and everyone like being very strict on her, and she's just doing all of that, and she's just thinking all of this. She's thinking like, finally I have a few friends here, they've accepted me for my ojo-sama self, and I'm not going to give that up. But then immediately Otoha comes back with her like powerful drumming, and she starts overpowering her, and and then then Lilisa goes off, tries to start overpowering her again, and you can see Otoha's having pretty much fun. Then you can see Lilisa's also having a lot of fun. Like the colors and everything starts changing. The way they kind of depict this section was really well done. Like you can see just both of them, like on both sides of the screen, doing that thing, and the color is just all vibrant around them. There's like special effects going off of on each side, kind of showing how both of them are just doing their thing, getting into the whole rhythm. right. And finally, I think it was so damn loud that the whole vase cracked. And I'm like, this place must be soundproof. Otherwise, if they're going that off, like that crazy that the vase cracked, that this might be like, this could be listened to from like miles and miles away. So I'm like, this place must be soundproof. And they kind of confirmed it later on. You know, in the end, they complete their session and then they start their, you know, the colorful set of vocabulary that starts coming out of their mouth. Both of them start with, "That's lame, this is the best you've got," and each of them starts going off on the other one. There was one section where I was absolutely baffled at what they're saying. Where's that part? You play the guitar like a goddamn wuss. Okay, I think after this it comes. Oh yeah, and your phrasing as dull as a dishwasher. Yo. Wait a minute. Yeah, she literally says that actually. Like, it's not that the subtitles are taking, like liberties or anything. She actually says that. I am pretty sure. Like the subtitles are actually accurately translating it. Like exactly word to word. Okay, I don't think there has ever been an anime that goes this far with the profanities, right? Like, there has never been, like, I guess you could say JoJo has some, like, but those are more of like a comedy type, right? What else? What else show does go like this? I think there was another show, but it was a bit different. That show, it makes sense. It would go like that. It was what was the name? Black Lagoon, right? Wait, that was the name, right? Wait a minute. Black Lagoon? It's been a while I've watched this. Yeah, Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon was like that, but you can make, like, that show, it makes sense. People cursing each other out and everything. It would make sense. It is a show like that. The literal gangsters just like doing stuff. So yeah, but these type of this type of a show, I don't think I've ever heard a show going this far with the profanities. It's crazy. You know, like they're actually cussing each other out. Like full on crazy. Okay, right. Anyways, they get the whole thing out of their system, and then both of them are like sitting down back to back, like, and both of their backs to each other, and then they're like, oh, should we start a band? Right. And then next we get to see Lilisa is helping out Ota with her stretching. All the other girls are fangirling, and Lilisa's like, this is your punishment, because apparently Lilisa said that you shouldn't, should try to refrain talking to me outside. But the first thing that she did after getting to know that they're doing the gym session together is call out to her as a long lost friend or something. So she's like, you immediately, like, just didn't listen to me. So this is your punishment. Anyways, so right, they continue this, and then she kind of goes off on her own. Then you can see her whole tempo is kind of charged up. Her adrenaline is still rushing. So everything she does from here onwards, Lisa, she kind of does it a little bit, adrenaline, like in the adrenaline rush, she kind of does it. So badminton, she goes crazy with it, and she kind of thought that, oh my god, I messed up, but everyone was pretty happy about it. They're like, oh my god, that is amazing. How did you do that? So yeah, people are pretty okay with it. Then we have, just a sec, guys. Okay, I'm back. So right, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about, like, her going a little bit, too into character while reading the thing, and this kind of continues for a while, but everyone's pretty okay with it. They're even more happier about it. During the art lesson as well, she draws something in such a way, and everyone was like, oh my god, this is impressionism, romanticism, maybe, they were like, she was like drawing like this, some sort of like a soul reaper or something, like, like a yeah. So it was just, like funny. She was going off like this. So she was like, it's probably my the session that I did with her. So the first thing she decided to do is, when she goes back, she decided to make some rules about the whole band. Before that, obviously, they had the whole conversation about her asking, like, oh, like, this place, like, is it okay if we use this place? Does your parents know that you're doing drums and stuff? And she kind of answers it in a very um like, she answers it, but at the same time, it doesn't really answer a lot of our questions. So I feel like there will be more into the whole thing that we'll get to know. But for now, she says that, oh, it's fine, her parents are okay with it. Yeah, either way, they decide to make some rules. So basically, the rules are like, first and foremost, um like, the biggest rule is that stop cussing or making those, like, like vulgar remarks about each other while in the heat of the situation, because obviously Lily says, like, I'm not going to give up my um my like, the fact that I'm trying to become noble maiden. I'm not going to give that up. And for me to, not get used to just saying these type of things, I will ban it. No more, like, getting into our roles so much that we start cussing each other out. But immediately I was like, in no way they're pulling this off in the first try. So, it was pretty obvious, as we see, that both of them tried, but at the end of the day, they just ended up reverting back to their normal um, habits. But also a few other things we, kind of make sure, like, like, gets a few of the other rules that gets established. First and foremost, there'll be no vocalists. There'll just be, like, guitars and drums. Number two, Otwa asks why she's trying to become the noble maiden, and she tells that it's for her mother. Number three, Lisa says that we want, when we're doing this, we want this to be real. I don't want any one of us just, taking this easy, or just doing this for the sake of it. We'll reach for the top. Basically, we will go to Fuji Rock, and we're going to show our skills over there. Obviously, at that point of time, obviously, you cannot really keep yourself anonymous at that point. So we'll think about that later. But for now, yeah, so that is our goal. So yeah, these are like the few rules and regulations, a few of the things that they needed to establish before they started the band. And in the end, like I said, the main rule that was, we're not going to go too far with our vocabulary choice. Unfortunately, at the beginning, they were both like, all right, let's do it elegantly, like an Ojo-sama. And then 1 hour later, they're just cussing each other out. And that's how it ended. So yeah, that was today's episode. Like I said, it was a really good episode. They established a new, like, connection, a new bond. And we, decided that they're going to make a band. So this is the beginning. Obviously, 2 more new members are going to join later on. Will probably be in the span of these last few episodes, like, like the later half of the episodes we're going to get from here onwards. Little by little we'll get introduced to them, and I guess, by the end of it, yeah, we will be a proper band. But for now, Ojo-sama plus rock and roll. you know Keep both of them going. None of them are going to give up each of the, either of the thing. She's going to be a rock star, but at the same time, she's trying to become the noble maiden as well. Yeah, Otoha doesn't really have that goal. She just wants to, do what she likes, but she's going to cooperate with her. And yeah, and that was my reaction to episode number 3 of Rock is a Lady's Modesty. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of the show. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.